Okay, let's discuss the history of the computer. Let's start first with the topics that needed to be discussed, meaning the introduction, the evolution of the computers, the generation of computers, the classification of computers, that is according to purpose, according to data handles, and according to capacity. So let's start. The introduction of this during the earliest of computer system. Noon pa naman, there is a computing word na tinatawag. Pag sinabing computing word, it's about computing. Kaya nga ang computers has been developed or generated because it is for computing purposes. Meaning, for computing purposes, we define about counting. Okay? So, when we're talking about counting, we're talking about numbering system. Ang computer kasi, exclusively ginawa yung for computing purposes. It's not for entertainment and so on and so forth. So these human computers were typically engaged with calculation of mathematical expression. To be followed by this time, calculation for that periods are very expensive. During the years of training in mathematics, napakamahal at higit sa lahat, well-trained na mga tao ang nakakagamit lang. So the first use of the word computer was recorded in 1613. It refers to a person who carries out the calculation or computation. And the word continued to be used in the middle of 20th century. So let's start first with this evolution of pictures of computer system. Basically, during that time, there would be no mouse. Okay? So particularly, we only have keyboards and syntax during the 1960s. So it's more on keyboard processing. Wala pa yung mga mouse during that time. Let's start first to discuss the evolution of computers. So we have here the pre-modern era. Then we have the first, second, third, fourth, and the fifth generations or the future generation. Let's talk about first the pre-modern era. So there are three classification of devices that evolves during the pre-modern era. Ito yung mga manual mechanical devices, electromechanical, and including electronic devices. Let's start first with this tally sticks. So this is a manual device. A tally sticks was an ancient memory aid device, no? Para ma-record yung mga documents, numbers, quantities, or even messages. They're using this one tally sticks nung dati. So this was for the ancient time. Operated manually. So there is no involvement of electricity. Then we have the abacus. This was been invented in China. Chinese people are using this. It's for counting purposes. So this is a counting frame and it is considered the first man-made computing device. Ginamit din to ng matagal for the centuries dahil ito is for counting purposes. Okay? So the first man-made computing device from China and that is the abacus. Followed by the Napier's bone which has been invented by Jean Napier. So ano nga ba yung Napier's bone na yan? Unang-una, ang sabi nila rito is manually operated device. So dito nakakapag-compute tayo ng calculation for products, quotient, square, and including the cube roots. So it is a manually operated. Okay? So ang ginagawa nito, siguro pag inoperate nyo to ngayon, siyempre mahihirapan tayo, no? Kasi using the multiplication table that time, we embedded in the RADS multiplication that can be reduced to addition operations, yung mga division and including subtraction. Advanced nito na paggamit ng mga rods can extract square roots. Okay? Not only same as the logarithm function, but Napier name is associated based on the multiplication table. So ito yung ginagamit nila for multiplication and division table during that time. 1800s. Okay? Then, we have what we call the Outred's slide rule. So ano ito? Isang mechanical analog computer ito. Okay? So sinabi natin, consisting of movable parts na nagpre-precise in scale that use approximation for solving problems. 1632 nung na-develop to. English mathematician naman majority ng developers in terms of computing. So si William Oughtred is an English mathematician. Na-design niya to for adjustable logarithmic rule na tinatawag natin. Kaya nandiyan yung logarithms eh. At na-shown ito in different types of photographs. So dito may mga familiar sa inner sliding tool na nagagamit ito on a specific type of theories. Sabi nila, it is made easier no, na gamitin pag log relations ang pinag-uusapan, develop on the number line na mga displacement ng mga numbers, yung may mga proportional number of logs. So yan si Oughtred slide rule. Then we have the Blaise Pascaline calculator. So it is called the adding machine, nagpa-plus. So meaning, ang purpose lang nito is to add and subtract two numbers, two specific numbers. Pero mo, ang laki niyan, ang ginagawa lang is to calculate a certain device which is adding two numbers and subtracting the two numbers. Then, step reckoner. So this is invented by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in 1672. So anong ginagawa nitong computer na ito? This type of invention can do add, subtract, multiply, and divide automatically. So sa mga museum, makikita niyo yung mga yan. Then the father of the modern computer, we have Charles Babbage. He invented the Babbage difference and analytical engine. So ano ginagawa nito? Analytical engine or embodied most of the design ng computer. So nandito yung may nagko-compute ng mga tables and analytical engine na capable for any mathematical problems. Kaya nga ang tawag dito is a general purpose computer that time. So dinesign din to ni Charles Babbage, which is an English mathematician and computer pioneer. Along with Lady Augusta is the first programmer, no? Sila yung medyo tandem dyan. Most of them in the field of computing are scientists or mathematician. So saan ba ginagamit tong analytical machine during that time? It was being a general purpose computer. Pag sinabing general purpose computer, ginagamit kahit saan in terms of automatical and mechanical. So papunta na siya from the digital way. But basically, during the time is hindi pa makapag-perform ng any calculation into digital form. So, meaning the Charles Babbage machine or ito yung analytical engine na ito been developed during 1833. So, siyempre, di pa tayo buhay niyan. So, tagal-tagal yan. At ito naman yung pinaka-first successful na calculating machine na na-commercialize. Ito yung tinatawag nating arithmometer. So yung arithmometer by Thomas de Colmar in around 1820s, yung pinaka mas maliit, reliable, useful, and commercially successful calculating machine. So the machine can perform 4 basic mathematical functions. So the first mass produce of calculating machine. So ito yung tinatawag na arithmometer. Then, followed by the evolution would be the electronic device. Dito na nag-birth si tinatawag nating ABC computer. So si ABC computer o yung tinatawag nating Atanasoff Berry computer, so this is the first special purpose digital computer na nagsosolve ng simultaneous equation na dinevelop ni Jan Atanasoff. So particularly, this is an electronic device component na meron ng mga circuit boards or integrated circuits. May mga transistors and mga silicon chips at gumagamit ng electrical switches circuitry. Okay? Unlike yung mga dati is manually operated. Pero ngayon, this one is electronically operated. So, ABC computer or the Atanasoff Berry computer. Then we have the ENIAC. So, how do we define this ENIAC computer? So, si ENIAC computer or tinatawag nating electronic numerical integrator and calculator, ito yung tinatawag nating first programmable na electronic general purpose computer. So, particularly, it has been developed around 1945. So, ito ay dinevelop nitong mga to ni John Mauchly and Prescott Eckert. So para saan ba ito? Unang-una, ang gamit ng ENIAC computer is dinesign para sa specific goal. Makapag-compute ng mga values of artillery range tables. Mga plug boards, yung mga yan, and instructional of different types of speed in machine. So kung titingnan nyo, laki niya, napakabigat din yan. So electronic delay storage automatic calculator is also known as what we call the EBD, or the electronic binary digital computer. Meaning this type of machine or the EDSAC has been already read by binary numbers, which is 1, 0. So this type of computer system is under by the von Neumann machine principles by using the binary numbers. That is 1, 0, 1, 0. So dun lang nababasa ng computer yung tinatawag na binary digit numbers para makapag-interpret ng instructions. So basically, walang-wala ito, no, na hindi natin maiintindihan itong mga computer na to kung panahon ngayon. Because it is needed a well-trained person or people who are operating the computer system during that time. So, ayan siya. Paano nyo ma-operate siya? So, meaning, we need an expert on those specific type of machines, this computer during the, I think around 1800s to 1900s. Even in 1900s, no, bihira ang may computer kasi nga mahal at mahirap gamitin. Now, let's move on to the first generation of computers. During the first generation of computers from 1951 to 1958, there are signs of computers during the first generation. Mainframe na tinatawag. Yung mga malalaking to, merong vacuum tubes at merong magnetic drums na nakakapag-process ng 1,000 instructions per seconds. Biruin mo, 1,000 instructions per seconds during the time from 1951 to 1958. And those are the UNIVAC. We have the Universal Automatic Computer. So this was first commercialized business by John Eckert and John Mauchly. So this is what we call the same type of the IBM 701 and the first generation of IBM computers. First generation is IBM 650 and the second to that is most updated is the IBM 701. IBM stands for International Business Machine. Si IBM ngayon o kilala bilang Lenovo. Okay? So kung titingnan nyo kung sino may pinakamagandang brand talaga ng computer, we're talking about Lenovo because the IBM machine came from them. It is the first automatic computer during its generation. For the second generation computers, medyo naging mabilis ang pacing. There are a lot of transistors and magnetic cores. So the processing speed mas bumilis, 1,000,000 per instructions. There is per seconds and the size is a mainframe. Malakihan pa rin ang mga computers that time. So we have the supercomputer during that time. So Tradic is one example of a second generation computer. Most of the first transistorized, maraming transistors computer. More example of this are the second gen computer are the UNIVAC and the IBM 7070, 7090, and the 1400 series. They are called in simply the supercomputer because of the process in terms of speed. For the third generation, mini computers already become available. So ito na yung mga major hardware features na mayroong mga tinatawag na integrated circuits or IC, yung mga chips na nakakapag-process. Maliit na yan, ha? Maliit na, wala na mga transistors, mga vacuum tube. So dito, ang speed niya, maliit, pero 10 million instructions per second. Napakabilis. For these circuit boards, nauso na yung tinatawag nating 360 ng IBM system, which is the first general purpose machine used in science and including business solutions. So during this time, nagkakaroon na ng tinatawag nating process ng improvement on the computer system during the third generation. At papasok ngayon si fourth generation computers from the 1971 up to present. So here, meron tayong tinatawag na nandyan pa rin ang mga mainframe, mini computers and including microcomputers. Pero meron tayong tinatawag na kakaiba rito, the microprocessor or the large-scale integrated circuit. Mas maliit na mga processor. Pero ang mga processing speed ay aabot ng billion of instructions per second. Yung iba nga, billions per millisecond sa bilis. As these small computers become more powerful, so dito na pumalo yung mga Pentium na Intel, AMD, o yung alam nyong mga i-series like i3, i5, Pentium, or including mga A series ng AMD or yung Ryzen. So together to form a network which eventually led to the development of the interconnected network or the internet. So here, the fourth generation, as you can see, there are graphical user interface. Meron ng mouse at meron ng mga handheld devices. So dati, yung during the third generation are black and white screen. Okay, black and white screen lang ang makikita nyo. It's more on command line interface or more on coding. Ngayon, it's more on the graphical user interface. May nakikita na kayo doon sa mismong output resolution ng monitor screen. Okay, into a graphical way na madaling maintindihan ng tao. Kasi dati, bihira ang makagamit ng computer. And there is the handheld devices. Now, let's proceed with the fifth generation of computers for the present and up to the future. So here, there is one thing that is very critical, which is the artificial intelligence or the AI. So it's still in development. AI was been developed during 1960 pero hindi naging talamak or naging masyadong sikat. Pero ngayon mas nagiging sikat because the AI help us to do in terms of reality. It develops a response of a natural language input which is capable for learning and a self-organization. But basically, artificial intelligence, we cannot say it's 100% dependent for the human. Okay? Kasi nandiyan na yung mga voice recognition, na ginagamit. Kaya nga may mga disadvantages and advantages pa rin ng technology, even for this time. So for the fifth generation, it's more on microprocessors and superconductors na napakabibilis, and including the artificial intelligence, which do the processing to make more faster. So that is the birth of the big data during that time. So let's talk about the classification of computers. When we're talking about the classification of computers, it's how we classify the computers yung mga dati at sa ngayon. Let's start first based on a type. When we're talking about this, we have analog, digital, hybrid, and the base purpose, merong general purpose, merong special purpose. Sa size naman, may microcomputer, may mini computer, mainframe, and including supercomputers. So let's identify each. Let's start first with the according to the purpose. Pag sinabing according to the purpose, meron tayong tinatawag na general purpose. Ginagamit ko pang lahatan. So, instructions nito may perform variety of operation. Pwedeng itong pang personal, pwedeng pang entertainment, pwedeng pang games, pang storage, pang network, or kung ano yung ginagawa typically sa isang desktop computer system. And even on laptop computer. So, that is a general purpose computer. Pag sinabi naman nating digital computer, so it refers to a machine that specializes in counting. Digitalized, meaning that is a dynamic. Counting values, nagbabago-bago, and that are discrete or separate including of distinct. Meaning, the process itself is continuous. That is a digital computer. Analog computer naman, from the word analogous, meaning it is a similar. Analog computers are used for scientific, engineering, and process control purposes. Somehow, ginagamit tong specialized computer kasi nga kung titignan nyo, talagang wala kayong makikitang digital form dyan. For example, yung analog speedometer sa mga automobile is composed of analog signals. So, hindi rin maganda ang analog signals dati. Okay? Dahil mabagal. Pero ngayon, analog signals are the most safest because digitalized is marami nang nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating threats. So, kaya yung iba nag-analog way of process. It's like a automatic versus manual. Manual override versus the automatic override. Then we have the hybrid computers. Hybrid computers combination of these analog and digital computers. So widely accepted. Ito yung ginagamit natin during the vice versa of computer system. So the special purpose machine called a hybrid computer. So it combines different types of measuring capabilities. May logical capability pagdating sa digital. Sa analog naman may capability to do a static performance. So when we combine analog computer and a digital computer, we're talking about the hybrid computer. So ito na ngayon yan. Then we have the super computers based on the capacity. Pag sinabing capacity, it's about the size on how it handles the data. So these are arguably the most powerful in terms of speed and accuracy. Mabilis at higit sa lahat kayang mag-hold ng a bulk mass of data. So there are computers used in solving complex mathematical computation and executing trillions of instructions per seconds. Meaning this is what we call the FLOPS or the floating point operation per seconds. Supercomputers are widely used in terms of business solution companies, yung mga malalaking company like Facebook, Google, yung may mga servers na all over the world, they are connected to a certain server. So they are in need of supercomputers to handle their instructions per seconds. Ang dami niya, kunyari may pumindot, lahat sa computer and that is going on a specific type of website, lahat yan ipaprocess ni supercomputer kung nasaan man nakalocate yan. Then we have the mainframe computer. When we're talking about the mainframe computer, this is a large size computer type. Same with supercomputer, but basically the mainframe computer can be seen for business solutions and including yung tinatawag nating supports in a certain organization. For example, in our dearest university, there are things that we need to understand about the mainframe computer na ginagamit natin yan for server purposes. So lahat ng raw data ninyo, mga files, mga documents ninyo na naka-digitalize, so dyan sinesave sa server na specific na nagmamanipulate ay ang isang mainframe computers. So make it popular with the business. Yes, kasi nga itong ginagamit nila. So this is an example of a mainframe computer. Malaki siya. It's a bulk computer. So ano ba purpose niya? Purpose lang niyan is for you to do transactions. There is what we call input and output transaction to store. Pag maglalaro kayo, hindi yan masyadong tinatawag nating nasa idea nyo na gamitin yan, no? It's not for work or it's not it's not for entertainment purposes because it is designed for a trillions of functions also and instructions. So malakihan to. Then ito na papasok yung mga mini computers during late 1960s. So these are general purpose devices. So without monumental expenses associated with a larger system. So ito yung meron mga processing power like ng mainframe computer but above of the personal computers itself. So mid-range computer ang tawag dito. Naging popular during the 60s. So dito na yung birth ng tinatawag nating mga mini computers. Gumagamit dati yung mga restaurant nito, no? Lalo na yung may mga ordering system. Yan. Then we have the microcomputers. During the microcomputers, these are smallest. Siyempre, less expensive and the most used type of computers. Preferably, marami na to. Pwede nating sabihin yung mga personal computer nyo. Peripherals type yung mga personal computer, laptops computer, mobile computer, the workstation, and including some embedded computer, yung mga handheld devices ninyo. Okay? So that's it. Generation of computers can be vital for us. But basically, because of the power of the artificial intelligence, we need to be more attentive on what are the latest development and innovations. So that's why it's very critical. Now, the one thing that we need to understand is about from the manual, it become automated. Yung automated na yan is naging computerized. Yung iba pa, nagiging from digitalized to automation. So, ang layo na ng narating nung tinatawag nating development in this type of specific devices.